Hello, can you hear me? I I can do a lot of it, data-wise or none. So that's what I'm trying to see if I can share with you guys to just encourage you and also to share with you the path through which I learn all these things so that one, you guys can just uh, be also encouraged to follow a path that works best for you. So, as you So just to let you know, if the section is recorded, when it's done recording, I will try to find a way to make it public for you guys. So um, if you want me to reach out to you guys in any way possible, just let me know in the chat, and then I'm happy to just you can have. So if I'm talking, you can just ask your question. Okay? Sometimes because I'm talking, I may not be able to notice that you raise your hand or something like that. So just start talking. Just start talking, and I will definitely answer any questions you may have. So please, is there anybody that have a stable internet that can help me as a co-host so that you can help me admit people that are coming in so that I don't have to switch every now and then between. Do you guys do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
understand
understand
you.
you.
Yeah. So Henry, can you help or anybody can help as a co-host? Huh? I can make you as a co-host if you are interested. I will just so that anybody that comes in will just hear the thing now, and then you just admit the person inside into the discussion. So I don't have to always switch back and forth between admitting the person, anybody that comes in, and also continuing with the lecture. So let me see. Somebody is posting something on the WhatsApp page. Um, okay. So um, Uh, okay. I will start in a minute. I will start in a minute. So I won't just, okay. Sukami, please. Can you go ahead and ask a question if you have any?
No, you asked if anyone has a stable internet
Yeah.
for. Yeah, have you gotten a co-host already?
Not yet. So let me make you a post then so that you can help me.
Okay, sir.
Sukami, my co-host. Okay, yes, you are my co-host now. Does that,
Okay, sir.
you see that?
All right, sir. Yes.
All right, so Sunkami is now the co-host, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sukami.
All right, okay.
Mm. Thank you. So the idea here is, a lot of the things I'm going to be talking about are things you already know. So you don't have to get angry with me for what this guy is talking about, but just understand too that there are a lot of folks here who don't even know where to begin from. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the whole idea. So my own modus operandi is the operandi, is that I want to start where nobody will ever think possible. So from the scratch. So I want to start from the scratch. No, it's not an anaconda. Anaconda can be very complex. I don't like anaconda. So this Python app that I shared is a unique environment on its own. I'm going to do some demonstrations. You will see that it's a different environment on its own where you can do your work without affecting your computer. In fact, you can even copy it and put it on your flash drive that is a little, like 32 gig or 16 gigabyte drive and use it anywhere. Maybe you don't have a working laptop, or maybe your laptop is not as solid enough as you want. and you can just copy it in a flash drive and use it in your friend's laptop. So that's what it is. So that's why I just wanted you guys to know what I'm how to go with how to work with this and what kind of things you can actually do with it. So anything that has to do with AI or whatever kind of project that you do on maybe Jupyter Notebook or any other thing that is related to Python, and even in R, you can do just right there. So I don't, you won't have to bug your computer with it because, for instance, if you um if you install some apps that are developed with Python or in Python, then you may have some conflict when you start to implement all these things. Install Python, install an environment where you can further install a lot of other modules. Then it can maybe mess up all the other applications that you've installed. So, but this is a self-contained environment where you can work and where you can do a lot of anything whatsoever that you would normally do anywhere without actually affecting your computer. So that's just the whole idea here. So that's what I want to share. So I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to be sharing. Uh, Let me know if you see my screen, please. Yes, can you see my screen?
I can see it, sir.
Okay. No, it's somebody said if it is the same as now Anaconda Navigator. I have Anaconda Navigator installed. That is a little bit weird kind of software. I really don't like that. So I really wanted something that is out of the box that as soon as I install it, I'm good with it. I don't have to, it doesn't have to be too heavy, resource heavy when I launch it and things like that. So this is a little different. So that's why I want to show you guys this. So data science webinar, first things first, right? So I just want you guys to get comfortable with a lot of things. So please, if you can do one thing for me, as soon as you come in, I want you to I want you to mute yourself, please. Just mute yourself. Just mute yourself. If you can turn on your video, that would be fine. I want to see your smiling faces. This Saturday afternoon, evening. If you can turn on your video, perfect for me too. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, uh, today I'm just gonna be go drink some water, please. I'm going to be taking you through this webinar. There's some things that I want you guys to take from the beginning here, and it is the fact that you don't have to learn everything about data science in this webinar. No, if you think you're going to learn that, no, that's a mistake. I'm just going to I'm just going to start you on a path to actually getting something meaningful done. Okay, especially if you have a data science, if you really are interested in data science. So that's just the whole idea here. I'm not going to start you. I'm not just going to make you overnight a data scientist. But at least if you've been able to go through this, you are just one step into the game already. You are just one step into the game already. So just um uh, keep yourself available. Just make sure you listen attentively, and if you have questions along the way, just pop pop your questions. Please just mute yourself, please. It'll be difficult for me to just move away from my presentation and mute. So please just mute yourself so that everybody can enjoy the discussion. And just let me know, please, if you are not hearing me loudly. I can speak a little loudly. If you are not hearing me, so this is just a webinar. Before I start, I will just talk a little bit about myself. I have my BSc in Akura at FUTA. I had my MSc, I had my master degree in Belgium, against University of Belgium, and I have my PhD at the University of Florida, where I am right now. I'm currently employed as a research assistant scientist, which is a faculty position, but non-tenured. So um, I've been employed for the past 6 months, so in this position, so I'm enjoying it. And most of what I do It's mostly related to data science and data analysis and things like that. And this semester, I'm teaching a course of close to of now I think it's 221 students in a class. So it's a very big class for me. So I think I have a lot of things to learn. So in the class. So my technical skills, I've been working with SAS for so many years. These are just some of the times I just things personal project that I do for myself. So more than 10, 20 years, 10 years, sorry. In R programming, I've been working with it just from God knows when. And Linux is what I taught myself a lot of those after like more than 13 years ago. Python is more than 5 years ago. It's pretty new, and I'm also very conversant with some of these tools that I mentioned. There are a lot of them. Just ETC to see a lot of them, so that I've worked with in the past. And my interests are in data modeling, analysis, web scraping. I also do a lot of bioinformatics based off of my Linux knowledge. And in fact, one of the fastest supercomputer in the world is in my school here in the University of Florida. And I've worked with it several times as well. So I really love that. So I do AI stuff. In fact, by the end of February, I will be conducting a webinar like this on AI in agriculture, how to implement some of those AI algorithms in agriculture, especially in pest management, pest forecasting and management. So machine learning, I do a lot of data visualization, as you see in my presentation. I do a lot of data storytelling as well, and then web development. I do a few web development here and there. I do web just WordPress mainly, and I have a website that I don't really have time to work on. So if you are a WordPress guy and you want to help me out, I can pay you to help me bring it to standard. Okay, I've been struggling with it for some time because I don't have the time to do that. So and I do a lot of other things. I'm a family man. I'm father of 4 kids, 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl. We just had the girl 5 months ago, so I'm pretty excited about that. So that's just all about me. And I know a few guys here. I know Emmanuel. I know Emmanuel Right. I know a few guys out here. Afalabi, Kayode, Gafar Swara. I'm seeing you for the first time, and I hope you'll be able to let a few things from here this morning. I also know Fortunate. Fortunate used to be one of my favorites. If you are the one, and you guys are super welcome to this session this morning. So that's just all about me. Do you have any question about that? About me? About these questions about me?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Hello, Gafar. I can hear you.
Yeah,
Go
good day,
ahead.
doc.
Yeah, good day, my brother.
BSc Akure, is it FUTA
Yes,
or I don't
yes, Futa. In
people like
fact,
just
no, Futa. I did Adekunle Ajasin is in Akungba. So Futa is in Akure. So I finished from Futa in 2006, and I did crop soil and pest management. You see?
oh, so you did not represent FUTA well, sir. That should be BTech FUTA
Yeah, it's
Akure.
BTech. Sorry, it's BTech. Sorry,
So I
I'm
want to
sorry.
make sure that
I,
you're representing FUTA very well, sir. I want to be sure that you're representing FUTA very well, sir.
let me correct it. Let me correct
Exactly, sir.
it.
It's nice to meet you, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
nice to meet you. Nice to meet you guys. So yeah. So I've corrected it. BTech. Thank you for
All
the
right, sir.
correction. Yeah, it's big or tech. Yeah, anyway. But
Mhm.
we understand that. So most of my background has been in agriculture and things like that, plant pest management and things like that. And you'll be wondering why I'm so interested in data science and why so I have a lot of knowledge in SAS and other things. It's just because of some personal drive. And this is what I'm saying here. Okay? See what I put here. 95%. Okay, it should be percentage. So let me put it back here. 95% of what I know in data science. Okay, 95% of what I know in data science is self-taught. I learn it on my own. Nobody taught me. Nobody sat me down to say this is how it is done or so. But I just get it go on my own. So it is an interesting part for me. A lot of people will call me a genius. I say no. everybody can be a genius if you already have passion for something and just pursue it. So I really enjoy that part of life. So I think where is my co-host? I think, so come in, please. You are not admitting them yet, are you?
I am.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Thank you so much. So that's all about me. Any more question about myself, about my background? If not, I will just jump right into what we're going to be discussing today. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about data. There is a revolution in data. We have data volume, the speed at which data is generated, and you can see we have what we call structured data and unstructured data, right? You see all these kind of tools. Um, we are as a zettabyte, so approaching this in 2025, we're approaching close to 175 or even more zettabyte of data per day or even per minute. So that's a lot. So that's a lot of data. The question is, how do we process this data? How do we generate insights from this data that would be useful for business intelligence or for some other aspects of our day-to-day life? So I just want to ask you guys, can somebody give me an example of an unstructured data? Can you give me an example of an unstructured data? This is okay. Should I call names? I don't want to do that. Anyway, an example of unstructured data. Just give me. Okay, just answer, please. You don't need to raise your hand.
I believe text
Perfect.
text
That's just
messages.
yeah.
Text
That's
an
just,
example of unstructured data.
yeah. That's it. That's what we are going to be emphasizing on in our discussion today. Text. I've been working with text for so many years, and I saw that as one of the pathways. And if you've ever bought something on Amazon or any of these websites, and then by the time or sometimes you are even talking about it, and then you are seeing the advertisement, is because of the fact that they had the text. They've been able to. They have algorithms that look for keywords in what people say and are able to present advertisement to them that matches what they are thinking. Sometimes you will say, oh, they haven't just thinking what I'm thinking, you know? It's not that. It's just some algorithms working in the background. So this is so my question is, what is science in the data? So it's like a question, but it's not really a question. What is the science in the data? So we say data science, right? So what's the science in the data? So there's this famous quote by this professor emeritus at the UC Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, who said that the ability to take data, to be able to understand the data, to process the data, and to extract value from the data, that is insight from the data, to visualize it and to be able to communicate it. That is all you have to know about data science. You take the data, you have a problem, and you know, okay, what kind of data fits into this problem? You process the data, you extract the data, process it, and you're able to generate insight from the data. That is, you said, it's going to be a hugely important skill in the next decade. Is it? Is it true? How true is that statement? Is it true? I just want you to just maybe raise your hand or say something or open your mic and say something. Is it a true statement?
Yes, that's a true statement, huh?
Yeah. That is becoming very, very sought after skills in these our generation. And the top data science skills to learn, they said in 2022 from where I got it, by in 2024, but it was a lot of things. 2022 was just the beginning of AI and things like that, and now AI is just everywhere. So one of them is the first is data visualization and storytelling, and a lot of other things, how to explore data, programming, hard programming, natural language processing, and things like that. So NLP is natural language processing, which is what our sister said earlier. You can take a text. I'm going to be showing you some of the things that I did with this. I took a text and I'm able to generate valuable insights from those texts that I work with. So this is just the whole thing about data science where it starts. It may be a little more involved than this, but let's start somewhere. You have a business idea or you have something, you have an idea. It may not necessarily be business related, but something that at least would add value to your company or to the community or to humanity. So then the next one is okay, you now start thinking, okay, what kind of data can I collect to really make something out of this thing that I'm thinking about? And how do I store the data? I store them in different JSON, XML, CSV, or some other formats that you know would work. And then you now start looking at the data, cleaning up the data. There's this saying that no data is, all data is messy. Okay, every data that you've ever worked with will be messy data. Data that sometimes there's a lot of messy things going around. You have to start, doing some wrangling to be able to get to a point where you can make anything out of the data, right? The only data that is clean is the data that is in textbook, right? Because they are already cleaned up and they'll show you. So in nature, the data is messy. So you need to do what we call data cleaning or data wrangling, remove errors where you have errors missing. And one of the ways in my own personal journey that I've also done this kind of data wrangling is when I extracted a tweet from some years, from social year to the social year, I discovered that some of them do not have coordinates, longitude and latitude, and I want that to be able to create a map of the world to see where these things are going on. So what I did now, is what other information or metadata do I have in my data to be able to generate that longitude and latitude? And I saw some of them. They say they live in Iwo, Ibadan. Some of them they live in Brisbane, Australia, whatever. So I was able to use that to generate the. You get what I'm saying? So that is a valuable thing to think about. So you can play around with the data. You can create models that will be able to that helps you understand the data better, and then you can start generating valuable business insights from your data set. So skills required, a lot of skills that are required, but just the fact that you are tuning in today, you may have already started somewhere, or if you have not started already, but the fact that you are tuning in just meant a lot. Excuse me, that you've already started. Okay, you've already you've already started. So just keep on the good work. So did I mention something about teaching a class this semester? Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, I mentioned something about teaching a class this semester. In the next slide, I'm going to show you my class. So this is what I generated using R about the enrollment in my class. So my class is a lot. There's a lot of most of them are undergraduate students, and this is the college or the faculty or the part of faculty they're coming from. Some of them are coming from public health and health profession, and some of them are from liberal arts. A lot of them are from liberal arts. Only very few of them are from agricultural science. You get what I'm saying? And then only very few of them are graduate students. Most of them are most of them are. Please, can you mute yourself? Possible? So most of them are undergraduate. So most of them are seniors. So which means they are in their third year or fourth year, and they are graduating maybe this year or next year. Most of them are just starting as undergraduate students, and a few of them are graduate students, and most of them are sophomores. So, and if you look at the major, that is what their concentration is. Most of them are majoring in biology. Some of them are majoring in my department, entomology and mythology. Some of them are computer science. Some of them are animal sciences and architecture, and a huge diversity of different majors attending my class. I remember I told you the class is what now? The size of my class is what? 221 students. That's a large class. So to be able to visualize it this way is huge for me. It's good for me to be able to know okay, which percentage, and that will help me to know okay, how do I drive my lectures? What do I need to emphasize on during my lectures as well? So that's just it. That's what I was able to derive from This is how do I develop this chart? I just have a CSV file containing all the information about the colleges they come from, the levels, they are the major, the minor, and some other details. But I'm only interested in all these details here, and I'm able to generate it. So there is and this also this, so if you're wondering what this kind of diagram is, this is what called a Sankey diagram, SANKEY diagram, and it's the same thing as this. This is one of the projects I was doing about text. So what I did was, okay, I went to journal articles. I downloaded journal articles, abstracts from journal articles from 1960 to 2022. Now, not 2020. This was an old presentation I made. And what I did was, okay, from the text, what can I do to see, okay, which one are the most important plant parasitic nematodes all over the world? And this is what is showing me here. You can find them. There are 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are the 10 most important plant parasitic nematodes. These are just from text data. And these are the representative species. This is the genera, and this is the species. You know, for Melodgyne, for instance, you have a lot of them. We have a lot of Incognita, and then you see some Javanica, some others. And then for Ithrodera, you have some Glycines, you have some Sarcai and some Aveni, and things like that. This is very important information. This is at the point of I'm trying to submit the manuscript for this now with some of my friends that will work on the project. So if any of you are interested in projects like this and you want to collaborate with me, I'm also willing to do that with you guys as well. So remember, I generated all the stats with R. Everything you're seeing here, I generated with R, except when I just tell that I say, oh, this is not R, okay? Everything you're seeing here is R programming. So this animation is in R. So I'm interested in seeing, okay, which of the species of Melodgyne over the course of the 1960 here to 2020, you can see some of them are they appeared early on from 1960, and they continue to be very important. But here, just check. Here you see a lot of new nematodes popping up here that are becoming very important too. Just watch. You see a lot of things popping up around here from 2010. Just this 2010 from here, you see a lot of things popping up. You see, this one is popping up, which is a Enterolobi. This is a very interesting nematode to work with. You get what I'm saying? So all this I'm doing, I did it in R program, and the idea is I want to generate insight from the text data. They are just text data, abstract, nothing. They are not numbers, but I'm able to convert the text data, extract keywords, convert them to numbers, and I'm able to generate something that you're saying now. So if you are thinking about what I'm saying too, this is also done in R. So I use R to visualize, okay, what are the management options that are available all over the years? All over those 60 years, there were different management options. A lot of them are these biological control options, all these big ones. Biological control options for laboratories, Trichoderma, Bacillus, Pseudomonas, and Streptomyces, and others are Aspergillus here. Bacillomyces here as well. So this is very useful insight from the data that I was able to generate. And now to make it a little easier for you to visualize, I did this. You see, you see Pseudomyces, you see laboratories, and others. And then another thing that I did, this one it was done in Python, so I did this one in Python in a Jupyter notebook. So I wanted to see, okay, I divided all the data into 30 years interval. The first 30 years is the prior spot frequency. The last 30 years is the last prior. So I want to see what is the relationship between the nematode in these prior 30 years. You can see here is very scanty. There's not so much going on here, but here you see a lot of activity here because of new research over the last 30 years that was going on. So I just want to show you that. So yeah, that's just what I want to show you, and I want to dive right into what we need to talk about today. So I'm gonna just okay. So please, can you ask any question if you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions based on what I just presented? Praise Esther, it looks like you wanted to talk. You are muted. You are talking. Hello, are you guys listening? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to know if anybody has any questions before we continue.
No, we're following you. We're listening to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Henry.
All right.
So The file that I shared is
We are with you, sir.
okay. Thank you, the part. So the file that I shared was a zip file. So that's why because a lot of you may not be dealing with zip files, so that's why I added the 7-zip, which is just a free application for you to unzip your file. So what you do is, for instance, you come here to my this thing. I think I have there's a file here. Okay, I already removed it from here. So, but anyway, I've already unzipped it. When you unzip it, this is what you see. Okay? When you unzip it into a folder that just gives you access to a lot of data science tools that you would ordinarily, excuse me,
Sorry, yeah.
Take it, sir.
thank you. A lot of data science tools that you will ordinarily be downloading. And when you do download some of these tools, they can mess up your already installed application. So most of your applications, especially applications that are developed in Python, might be developed to only use Python 2 point something version 2.7. But then when you download and install a Python in the same directory on the same environment as that may kind of mess up that your application. May be that you want to open it, for instance, some of these applications like those GIS, ArcGIS, and those QGIS they have, they are developed in Python. So you don't want to mess with already installed application with your new application. Okay, so when you open this is what happens to you. This is it. And then the question is, how do I start from here? So if you look at it, there's what we call Jupyter Notebook. This is where you can type codes and see, visualize, run your code and see how they perform almost instantaneously. You can interact with your data, interact with any aspect of your data and get something valuable from there. This is almost the same thing as this. The only difference is that this one, you have a lot of more options around. You can launch a lot of things. So, I mean, it's the same thing. It does the same thing run under the same panel. So, and then you have a Python. I don't use Python. The next thing that I want you to guys to look at here is the Spider here. Spider is an IDE, okay? It's an environment for Python programming. Let me just open it. When I click Python, when I click Spider, so it's going to take a few seconds before it loads. So let's see how it does that. So let's see if it's going to do that. Anyway, it's going to take some few seconds to do that to launch. Anyway, because it's a new application, I already have this folder already working. I was working on the same folder, on a different folder from the same application for some time, but I'm not going to use that now, but I'm going to just work with this. So, but anyway, while that one opens, let's go to the Python. Okay, now it has opened. So let me bring it to the screen, to the other screen here. Now this is the Python IDE. You see, when I open it, it went ahead and opened all the other one that I've opened before. So I've been working with Compo. So it will go ahead and add those files that I've been working with before. So this is the same as running your Python. I can go ahead and just run this first line, second line, and you can see this one run very well without any issues. I can go ahead and run my Python.
Hello, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
We are not maybe it does not matter. We are not seeing the beginning of the maybe because of the screen. We are only seeing half parts. So maybe that's the point. Yeah, we are not seeing the.
Oh, sorry, I'm not. Oh, sorry. So which part are you saying?
We are seeing the text that is ending on the blank side. So
can you
okay.
see something now?
Yeah, I think it's better now.
Okay,
It's
sorry
getting
about
better.
that. Thank you for informing me. So this is just the spider that I opened. This is also used with a Python environment where you can code your Python. All these are Python. I'm going to import my data, and the data is already imported. I want to view the data. I want to manipulate the data a little. I'm just going to go right through and then just show you some of the things that I'm going to count is not part of the data. But then you can let me see. I want to run this. Just double click and run it. It's going to show me where I'm making a mistake. There's no count here, longitude and latitude and whatever. But anyway, that's just one of the things that you can do within this folder. Remember, it's just a folder that you can have. You can even put it on your flash drive, not 4 gig flash drive. but maybe 16 gig or even 32 gig flash drive. So when you go to a friend's house or you go to your office and you have the opportunity to use the computer, you can just open and start doing the work right there. You see how useful that is, right? How easy and how flexible that may be for your data science project if you are already planning on starting a project. So let me open the Jupyter Notebook. The Jupyter Lab here is going to open something like this. Can you see this? Can you see the screen? Did you guys
Yes,
see the
I
black
see
screen? Okay, yeah, the command line that is opening. So it's going to, when it's done with that, it's going to launch. It's going to launch. Did you see this? My browser. Did you see my browser?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I just want to be sure that everything is going on. So, yeah, you can see my browser. The Jupyter Notebook is already loading. You know, the reason why it changed was because I already had something for that same this when I loaded it yesterday, or even this morning. Okay, because I already had something going here so that I show you. But if normally this is what you will see when you open your page anew. Okay, this is what you will see. And the good thing here is that already R is already installed in the environment for you, so you don't have to worry yourself about installing R. So R is already installed in the environment. So if you want to start coding in R very quickly, you can click on R, and then the cell will be open for R programming. Okay, you can do what? You can just say, okay, let's start with some data. Let's see what data do we have in R that come bundled with R. You can click on this, and then you see already some of the data that came with R. This is R, okay? But then I would just want to describe it. This is originally what you see when you open a Python. Please can you mute yourself? Okay. Okay. So where we see the whole idea of today's discussion is not to make you a Superman in data science. It's just for you to expose you to some of the tools that are available out there that will make your life a lot easier, especially if you are interested in following the path of data science. So when you open, let me close it again. Now, this is pretty much what you see when you open. You can do a lot of things. You can go to Python, you can go to R programming. Okay? You can use your terminal, you can use your Markdown, you can use a lot of other tools here. But here is an example of a Python that I've already been working with. So I've been working with this Python script for some time. So what I did here was I'm not going to show you how I did it here because the process is no longer working. Twitter has just blocked that mass download of data set, and I don't have money to download that much data anymore. So what I did was I went to Twitter, and I want to know over the course of the year, since the start of Twitter, how many tweets have been tweeted or how many tweets have mentioned the word nematodes, because I'm a nematologist. I want to know who is tweeting about nematodes, and I want to know where they are tweeting about nematodes from, which part of the world they are tweeting about nematodes from. So I went to Twitter. I developed the code to be able to generate as much information for me, as much data for me, and I was able to download the data and then extract the data, bring the data here to Python. So I save it as a CSV file and then bring it up here to Python. And this is just pretty much what it does. If you need to install an application in Python, this is what it does. So let's just start from here. You don't have any idea about what Python is. Python is just a programming language, and programming language is just like the language you speak. You speak Gbera, you speak Hausa, you speak Yoruba, you speak BBO, you speak all those languages, right? Python is like that, and each language has a structure for how it has to be spoken. If you just start speaking about then it don't make sense. It has to be structured in a way that the person listening to you be able to understand. So the Python also has that kind of organization as well. So if you need to communicate, depending on what you want to do, you will need what we call a module or a package to be able to get that done. If I need to import data into Python, I would need a package that would be able to help me recognize the different types of data that I may have and bring it into Python for me. And if I want a package for me to visualize my data, I also need pretty much the same thing as well, requirement as well. So that is my take on that for now. But I will just show you around my data. So what happens here is this. So, and if, for instance, you don't have any of these packages already installed, if you run your code in these cells, you see, these are different cells of code. So if you run, it runs everything within these cells. If you want to minimize what amount of information you can run, you can copy this. I'll just cut this out. And I want to put it in a different cell. So I just want it to run only importing the packages for me, and then I can continue to, import my data and do some additional work on my data. So what I do is when I run the code, I discovered that when I run the code, Matplotlib, Pandas, and GeoPandas were already installed in the one that I sent to you. So you don't need to do too much work. If they are not installed, it will throw up an error that, oh, GeoPandas is not installed. Module called this is not found. That's what they will tell you. Module called GeoPandas is not found. So what you do is just click the GeoPandas that you think is not installed. I want to go to the next line, and I want to put an exclamation mark because you are working in. Oh, what is this? Oh, sorry. It's doing something else. So it's doing something else. So it should be here instead. Yeah, I'll put an exclamation mark. I'll say PIP, which is okay. I wanted to use this function in Python to be able to help me install the package that I want to install. And then when you run it, it's going to go ahead and install it for you, just like what I did here. I wanted to draw a map of the world, and I want to use base map. And it's telling me I don't have base map, so I have to just say PIP, install base map. So, and I was able to install the base map without any issue. But if you do want to install any application in your environment, you really do not need to go too far. You always need to come back to your notebook, okay? You only need to come back to your notebook. Do the same, just click on this command, win Python command prompt. When you run the command prompt, something like this comes up, okay? If you look at this, you look at the path to this terminal or this command line, you discover that I have a user that I download, and I have my folder, which is this same folder, and I have my subfolder, which is this, and I have my subfolder, which is the script, which is the script here. When you click on the script, this is where most of your software will be. This is where most of your software will be installed. You see the spider that I work with here. You see Jupyter Notebook will also be installed somewhere here as well. So let me open this thing back again. Here, if I need to install the same app that I installed the other time, I will just need to do something. I already have my GeoPandas that I want to install. This time around, I don't want to use it. I don't need to use the exclamation mark again. I'll just say pip install GeoPandas. So that will just install the app for me to be able to use for whatever purpose for which I want to use it. So I want to close here, and I want to go back to my browser. So the fact, remember, when I launch this opens in my browser, and it's saying localhost 8 something. So it doesn't mean that you have to have internet to use it. The idea, another alternative to this notebook would be what we call Google Colab, where you have to sign up, and then you can use it anywhere you have. What the good thing about this is if you don't have internet, you can actually do your data science work. You can still do a lot of work in your data science work. So the fact that it's open in a browser doesn't mean it requires internet. If I shut down the browser, I don't want to shut it down because I'm going to cut you guys off. But if I shut it down, it will still run without any problem. So that's one thing you need to keep in mind as well. Does anybody have any questions so far? So we talked about how to bring in, how to install and how app. If you don't already have it, install it. And then bringing in your data, you need pandas. In this case, don't be mad mad at yourself that what is this guy even saying? I have not even heard about pandas before. Just don't be mad at yourself and don't be mad at me. Just be patient. So the pandas is a package that helps you with your data manipulation. For instance, it helps you bring any type of data into Python, and it can help you in the data manipulation process. Manipulation means not to falsify your data. That's not what I mean. But by changing your data, by wrangling, moving your data from here to here, extracting any columns that you want to use, or any other thing that is information that is informative about your data set. So remember, I already have this done. When I run this, I want these packages to be available, or this module to be available for me to use in the step below. So now I'm going to run this step. What I'm doing here is, you know what? I'm calling pandas, you see? I'm creating an alias for pandas here as PD, and I want to say PD. I want you to go to pandas and use the function read CSV to read this my file inside the work environment. So what I do is just to run this, and then it is done. This thing is done already. So it is done already. So how do I know if my data is up and running? So I will just run only 5 columns or rows of my data, and by using tweet data is the name of my data that I named it. I saw tweet, and I want you to just give me the head. By head I mean the first 5 lines, rows of my data. So if I need the first 10 rows, I'll just change it 5 to 10. Just watch what will happen. Watch what will happen. So you go here, you see 10. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just say 9 from here to here is 9 plus this 10. So it gives me the 10 first rows of my data. That means my data is good, and I can go ahead with any analysis to do I want to perform. So the first analysis I want to perform here is now to do what we call, I want to create a map of the world, and I want to map my data that is in this file. You can see North America, you can see different countries here. The data that is in this file that I've just uploaded, I want to map it and see where they are talking about nematodes. So if you are new to nematodes, nematodes are just tiny worms, tiny round worms that are infect your plants. They can also infect you as humans, and they can infect your animals and things like that. So I want to see, since I'm a nematologist, I want to see who and where they are talking about this subject anywhere in the world. So I created this code to be able to generate that for me. When I run this code, let's see. When I run the code, let me just run it. So if you see, when I run the code, this one will vanish. If everything runs fine, then this one will come up. The correct map will come up. So let me run the code. You see, it has vanished. Only the next line of code is present now. And it has vanished. It's going to come and fill this space when everything is done here. So the idea here is to see, okay, where in the world are people talking about nematodes? Excuse me. So it's taking a longer, it's taking some time, but it's a large data set, so I'm not expecting anything different anyway. So let's start talking. So I want the world map, and I narrow down to only Africa. I narrow down to Asia. I also narrow down to maybe Australia and maybe to the UK. Now I was having an issue with the UK because of these 2 points here, these points here, from here to here. So I need to find a way to get rid of this point so that I can get the whole UK map here. Now you see that? So this is the data set for the whole of the world now. You see that? This is showing you where they are talking about that subject that remember, this is just a data set that I collected from Twitter. This is not just a structured data set that you already know what is here, what is here. No, I extracted this information from text from tweets that people actually tweeted. So that's where I extracted this information from. So they are not from actual data that's already been processed, that's already been wrangled and things like that. No, these are from data sets that are just text data set tweets from. I mean that people text that people tweeted. So that's just where this is from. So you saw me yawning. I've been up for God knows when since morning. So I've been up for more than how many hours now. So sorry about that. So okay. So now I'm able to see that okay, most of the tweets about nematodes are coming from the US and in Europe. And in Africa, you see, let me go back to something in Africa here. In Africa, most of the tweets are coming from South Africa, from Kenya, Uganda, some part of Nigeria, mainly around here, and also the southwest of Nigeria, and also some part of Senegal. So this is very interesting for me because I hope to publish this because I know clearly that there are some places where they talk a lot about nematodes, and this is not just about where they are talking, where they are tweeting from. I was also interested in seeing, okay, what nematodes are they talking about? What organism are they talking about? And how can I map that to make, how can I make it a global map where I can see, okay, which part of the world are they talking about a certain type of nematode? So that was the reason behind all this work that I was doing before. So there's a lot that you can do with your data science distance. So let me go back to, remember, I'm going back to the distance again now. I'm going back to the same folder that you have already, how many of you already unzipped it successfully? How many of you? How many of you already unzipped it successfully without any issue? So remember, I had a lot of people saying the APK is not opening. This is not an app, an Android app. No, it's a computer. It's a software that you can only access on your computer. So I want you guys to take some time to, if you can't access it, copy it and put it in a flash drive. And if you know your friend has a computer that you can use temporarily, just take it to your friend's computer and zip it and start exploring all the things, the good things that this tool stands to offer. So as I'm saying, I'm going to just go ahead and open the Jupyter Lab again. And when I open the Jupyter Lab, it will load and then automatically load, open my browser where it will say localhost, which means I'm hosting it locally. I don't need to have internet to use it. So just remember that I don't need to have internet to use it. So, yeah, I don't need to have internet to use it. As I said, I need to have internet to use it. So the next thing I want to do here is go back to my data. This is my data. So I'm not going to be presenting that for you guys, how I did it, or presenting the exact data to you guys. But you see here, I've already imported the data. I just drag it from my desktop and put it here. And it automatically registers here. So if I need to import the data, I don't even need all this. I don't need all this. All I need is just to tell them which data to import. All I need is just to tell them which data to import. And if I run this, GeoPandas, pandas are matplotlib. If I run that and I run this, so it's already done. Then I can go ahead. Oh no, it's saying something here. Continents not found. What is that? Okay, you know what? Let me just mute all this one. Let me mute all this and let me run my this again. This error should go away. Okay, now everything is done. So I'm going to go back. Instead of running the 10, I'm only going to run two rows of my data to visualize. So I want to see whether everything is fine. Yeah, 2 rows here. That is fine. I have my continents and I have my longitude and latitude. But the problem is this. I think there is a problem in my data that I have to sort out. So I think I have a problem in my data that I need to sort out. So okay, so that's done. I just want you guys to see this as, okay, let's go back to the folder again. This is the folder. You have access to a lot of other things like even if you need to design a GUI, a graphical user interface, for any of the applications for software programming or software design, you have these Qt designers to do that for you. And just to mention something, if you come here to Notebook, you discover that I already added some things to this. This is not what you will see naturally when you do yours. So you don't get to see this. So what you do here, how do I start out? How do I start practicing? That's my next question. So your next question may be, okay, how do I start practicing? How do I start out practicing? Because I told you guys I learned most of all this thing on my own. What I do is, okay, I have an idea in my mind. I have an idea in my mind and I say, okay, where can I get tutorials for that idea on the internet? And one of the easiest ways for you to get them would be for you to go to GitHub. You go to GitHub and then just download some of these and use them for your practice. Remember, your data may be different from their data, but you need to just know the principles behind most of all those things, or whatever you want to do. And then you can just dive right in to use the examples working with the examples that you downloaded to train you on how to understand exactly what you want. So that when you now have your data, you don't have to you know exactly what to do. So this is the data. If I need to, okay, now I had a data set. This one doesn't work. So I have another data set. This is the tweet data that I showed you here. So if I run this, I had some issues here saying this, but the point is, okay, it gave me the same data set. So I just want to create a word map without my data in it, and I want to now import this data from the database online, and I want my data. I can continue to do the same thing here, where I'll be able to draw the map showing all the points where the tweet came from between the period of 2008 and 2022. So this is just what it's showing here. So you can go ahead and just explore your data by showing up which countries, which country in Asia, which country in Africa, and a lot of other details that you may want to check from there. But the point is here, you go back to your folder here within your data science project, and you can, okay, let me show you one thing. Depending on what you are interested in working on, okay, you want to come down to GitHub, okay, github.com, okay, and you want to search. I want to search. So let's search for something. So what do you think we can search for, guys? What projects do you think you are interested in that you think we can search for? And we want to get the examples of such projects so that we can, you already start learning something before you now put in your data. So does anybody want to suggest?
Okay, well done, sir.
Okay, Manuel.
I'd like to suggest environmental sustainability.
So we want a project where we can have a data to work with. You get what I'm saying? So if you say environmental sustainability, okay, environmental, just type environmental. Okay, I have environmental here, and when you open it, see two things. There's a lot of you look at the panel here. It shows you whether you want Python, or you want any code that has to do with environmental sustainability, environmental here in R or in any of these languages. So you can click on R. It will show me any code that has to do with environmental data analytics. You see that? This will only be in R. You see that when I open this, it's going to now go to this thing. So this one doesn't have any. This is even from Duke University, and then you can see the data that they have here, and then you can see the codes that they use in their you can see the code that they use in their analysis. So if you want to start, I want you guys to start with something like that. But for instance, if I don't want it in R and I want it in Python notebook, you see that I see this Python environmental science. Okay, environmental study.
How did you get here, sir? Did you enter it on the browser, or what's website good.
on a browser. I went to GitHub. You see github.com. GitHub, G-I-T,
GitHub.
yeah, github.com.
Okay, github.com.
Yeah, github.com, yeah. And then
Okay,
the GitHub,
okay.
in the GitHub, I entered environmental, just environmental. Okay. Or
Okay.
let's say something differently. Let's do something that is, let's say election.
Okay.
Okay, let's say election. Now you see election, but then you see a lot of code and things like that. But then I want elections in Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Now it's saying Indian general election. Election notebook, elections notebook. So when I open it, it's going to say, okay, these are some of this one doesn't have too much. I think it's in New Zealand there. So let's say Indian election notebook. Okay. Now when you see, this is some of the things that they draw. So now this is a very interesting thing for me. So what I will do now is just go ahead and click on the code where you have the code and say download zip. Okay. You can do it and you can grab the data in another format, but I just want to download it. And you can see it's already downloaded. I want to see where it is downloaded on my computer. So it's in my download. I want to copy it. I just want to port it. I want to take it to my data science project. Let me see. Download. I want my, yeah, here. I want to take it here. And in my notebook, I just want to come here and paste it in my notebook. And I want to unzip it. Now, the same unzipping that you did for your distance, you're going to do the same here. You're going to just, two ways. You can double click it. It will open something like this, but you cannot copy. But it's going to, depending on what you're doing, how fast your computer is, maybe take a few seconds to do. So let me go back to this thing again. So I'm going to go back to the notebook, and I want to just unzip it. I'm going to come here to WinRAR that I have. I have 7-zip too, but WinRAR is more useful to me. So I use 7-zip as well. And I just go, okay. And it's going to unzip it for me here. You see that? This is a very long name. So I just want to cut it short to all this one. So Indian election 2019. You see that? When I opened it, when I come back here again, I just want to rename it to maybe something else. Okay, I want to put those off. And then I'm done. So let me go back to my notebook now. Now I'm okay with my notebook. You can see in my notebook I have that folder, which is what is called Indian elections. Where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? I want to go back to my front end where I have my this thing open on my browser. I want to just refresh by clicking this. Refresh. That Indian folder already came up. You see that? I want to double click it and I can have access to some of these notebook files here. I want to click on this one and then it will open here for me to describe what kind of data I have and things like that for me. You see how easy it is for you to already start learning something? This is an example of data from the internet that you can just use, import it to your computer and start learning something very quickly. You don't have to do a lot of things. Now, okay, we want to do something. This is just a data I downloaded from the internet right here in your presence. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Doc. Not a question really. Just are you going to be helping us with the video at the end of the?
Yeah, I'm going to post it. Let me see if I'm even recording the video.
Yes, I think you are recording.
Okay, yeah. So if it's finished recording, then when I finish the meeting, it will generate the recording, and then I will now start. I will try to upload it for you guys.
Thank you so much. I am really enjoying this.
Okay. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, this is just you want to start on something. You want to start exploring elections. So I did the same thing for Nigerian election when Nigeria did their election. I was able to generate some things. Okay, let me just go to. Let me I have my project folder here that I have a lot of other things going on there. Project here, Nigeria election, Nigeria data, Nigerian election. And I was able to generate the data. These are data for PDP, LP, and the major parties. And I was able to generate something. I've forgotten where I don't remember where the chart generated is. But anyway, that's just how it looks. So the point is, you just want to get started with something and start understanding how the process works here. So remember, the first thing is for you to set up an environment and upload all the packages that you may need. Okay, I don't know if all these things has been installed. Okay, I want to try this. If these are also already pre-installed with your this thing that I asked you to set up. Sometimes they are pre-installed with them. So if there's anyone that is out of place, it will tell me that, oh, the module, such a module is not available, then I will know to install it. So I'll just run this part. So you can just take a read of what the module is about here. You know, just take a read, and I want to just jump right in and just run this module. And then this cell. And it happened that there is no chat studio. You see that? Among all the other things here, there is no a module called Chat Studio. So I'm just going to right click and copy it and go up here and give it one step further, one step above it, which is one cell above it. I want to paste it here. This is what they said is not available. So I want to just say the pip install Chat Studio. That's all. When I run, okay, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time depending on how large it is to run and generate and download for me. Once it is done, I won't have any problem with Chat Studio anymore. I think every other thing would have been potentially installed. So it's going to take some time. And let's take a look at what the old thing is about. So they loaded the data from here, from this data folder. There is the data called ls2csv. So that's where they loaded the data from. And then the head is just to tell you, okay, what is the head is just to say what is the first 5 or 6 rows of the data. And then they want to, okay, what are the columns in the data here? And then they want to say the head again. No, that's not necessary. I don't know why they're doing that. But anyway, you want to describe the data. They want to describe the data. And then before they now start going into subsetting the data to, I don't want all the data, but I only want data with male and female, or data with only male and things like that. So, and before it's a large data set, and you can see they even drew some charts here, very interesting charts here. See? So you can already start working just by downloading some of this data and getting something up and running with your interest. So let's go to this. Now it has installed Chat Studio now. So let's try it again to see if it won't throw up the error again. This error, if we don't want to, if it didn't throw it up anymore. So let's try it again. Now, if it's running and it's showing a star here, you see the star inside this box, inside this curly braces, it means that it is still running. Okay, if it finishes and then it shows a number, then it means I finished running. Now, it is telling us that ProCurve is from whatever, so we cannot import this from this. So this may be a problem because remember, this is not my data. I just copied from somewhere. So I may run into a problem or some problems because of the way I set up my environment. If I had already set up my environment for it to find this, then it will be able to find that. So that may be an issue. So that's where I want you guys to start thinking. So, but we can, besides that, we can already import the data. So the data is imported. I want to see the head. It's going to show me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me show the head. Now it gave me 5, but I want 20. So you know why? Because we already see that in the example. I want to be sure that it is my own code that I've run that will generate that I want to be sure that my code is working. I don't just want to default to what they already have in their notebook. I want to change a few things around to see if my code is working. No. So now I want 20 rows of data. So I want to be sure that everything is working. Let's see if it runs. You see that? One from 0 to 19 will be 20 rows of data. See that? So now it means it's working. It's working. So I don't have to run all the 12. Instead of the 20, I'll just put 2. 2 this time around, I'll run and I get my 2. From the same data that I just download from the internet. I downloaded from the internet. So you can already start, okay, playing with the data, seeing how well you perform in this, and also trying to learn along the way how to correct all the errors or the mistakes. And by Googling, you can also pretty much get a lot of some of them. So one of the tools that I use very frequently is this tool here, Grepper. Okay, when I click on Grepper, and I want to, I want to search. I want to search for import, okay, import CSV. Oh, sorry. So if I say import CSV, so it will tell me into Python or where? Into R or into Python. So this into Excel, or you see that? So if I say into Python, you see automatically it immediately gives me this snippet here. That okay, for me to import CSV into Python, I need to import GeoPandas, and I need to just be able to import my data and just print it. There are a ton of other ways for you to do the same thing. So let's say into R. Let's say we are importing a CSV into R. Now you just say enter, and this is what it gives you. You need to load the data library, the library data table, and just use that. Or you need to load some additional data, maybe read R or something like that. Or even sometimes you may need room, depending on how large your data is. I've worked with data set of 10 million rows. During COVID, I was interested with one of my friends in developing a project around generating insights from the tweets about COVID. So then we downloaded 10 million rows of data set from Twitter, and we're able to just import it into R with the package called Vroom, VROOM. That was very fast, especially if you have large amount of data set. Does anybody have any questions? I just don't want to be talking. I want you to ask questions. How many of you have worked with Python before? How many of you have worked with Python before?
I am a senior. I really need to learn Python. So
Yeah, that's good. I mean, so data literacy is something that is uh, um, that is something that is going to be a demanding, or that is a common skill that everybody should have, just like being able to operate your Android phone or your iPhone. You get what I'm saying? So everybody needs to just get your handle on it and start learning it as quickly as you can. So does anybody still want to tell me if you've ever touched Python before? So what about R programming? Has anybody touched R programming? So if you haven't touched it before, then you can already start doing something about it. But the whole point of this discussion today is to be able to tell you that you can set up an environment for your data science project easily by just downloading that file, putting it in any folder anywhere on your computer, and then just opening it, and you already start working. You don't need to start spending hours. I knew how many hours I spent just to set up some environment somewhere just for me to be able to do something. But now I saw the light, and it's a little much easier this way. So that's why I want to share this kind of skills with you guys, this kind of tools with you guys for you to get up and running very quickly with your data science project. So, any more questions? So, if you need to run your R, you just need to come here and just click on R, and then you can type your R code. So, if I want to type an R code here, let me go back. Let me go to some of the R things so this is the Vroom that I was talking about, where you'll be able to download Vroom, some very large files. Okay. Does anybody have data science R programming skills? Does anybody have R programming skills? Skill set? Has anybody ever programmed in R? Where the number
Actually, I think I'm familiar with the environment they have. I've seen a lot of videos and I've done a lot of, let me just say, a few tutorials.
Okay.
The integers, the data types, and some other things, but
Mm-hmm.
not so deep.
Okay. Thank you about that. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's a good starting point. The reason I'm asking is that I'm in need of somebody who's very vast in programming. I want to develop a project. And one of the projects is this one that I'm showing you. Can you see my screen with this blue something? Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, we can see
Okay.
it. Sir.
So I'm developing a web app similar to the one I developed for the scholarship thing. Now it's no longer working because I've exhausted my free subscription in the place where I hosted it. So I'm going to develop this into a very full data package, data analytics visualization package. So this is one of the things that I've written. This is one of the codes that I've written, and I want to, if I run this app, it's going to come up this way, and it's going to come this way. So I want to, I want to be able to, uh, you know, provide something like this for everybody all over the world to be able to just put their data in and visualize something and get something very cute, very nice visualizations out of it. So, like for instance, if I need to upload my data here, I have a data set that I have here. You see? Did I click anything yet? Did you see that? So I can now click what labels do I want? What column for labels? So what column do I want from my data? And what one do I want as my count column, as the number column, as the numerical column? And then you can see very clearly that we have something like this here. Okay? And then we can go ahead and, okay, let's say we are interested in a cultivar, or maybe we are interested in treatment, for instance. So now, what else do I do here? I can increase the font. You see that? You see how big it is now? And I can also change the type of plot. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? And I can even change it to a radius plot. You see that? Gafari, you want to say something? So, and I can also, yeah, and I can also increase the resolution to the highest resolution that I said here is 10. I want to programmatically increase it to maybe very high one so that if you need this for publication, you can just get it. So this is just it. No, how many seconds? Is it up to 2 minutes before we generate this? No. So that is what I'm developing right now based on my knowledge and things like that. I want to be able to develop this for as many charts and this thing as possible. So that so let me download it so that you can see it. So I'm downloading it right now. It's saying this. I'll just download it and put it in our folder here. I'll just say pie chart nematode. I'll just say pie chart nematode. So I stored it as a PNG. You can change it, but I think it's only PNG that I have saved it. So anyway, you can say save, and it's going to go there and save it. And I want to go back to our folder. Where's our folder here? I think there was a folder here. Okay, let's go to our folder here. I'll just go to this. You see it stored somewhere as a PNG file somewhere here. Here, you see that? And you see the size. This is 2 point something megabyte. That's big, right? That's a large file. So when I open it, let me see. It's opened here. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the downloaded. This thing that image that I generated. You can zoom in, and you can see that the data is as clear as possible. So that's to tell you how that is high resolution. So let me go up to the treatment to see. You see? Did you see that? Let me even zoom in a little more. You see? It's not losing any of its resolution. So that's what I want to do. I'm doing that already. So I'm actually doing that. I'm doing that using R, and I'm also doing that with some other tools like this Sankey diagram that I used before. So I can just run this app again. Yeah, when I run this app, so what comes up? I need to bring in my data set. Where's my data? Let me just go here to see if I can find some data. I know. Yeah, data in. Okay, I have my data here. So now that I have my data, I need to select the columns that I want to show in my data. And I don't need my block, I want my count. You see that? That is similar to the one I created before, right? Yeah? So which means you and any other person anywhere in the world can create the same thing without having to struggle with coding. You get what I'm saying? So now you can create something and then maybe you can even increase the font size to 30. I think the highest I gave it was 35. And then you can change the labels, maybe add some count, also add some percentage to it as well. And then the next thing you can do here is also to, add some colors. You see how beautiful that looks? How beautiful that looks. So the idea is I got to this point without anybody just telling me what to do or how to do it. I just got to figure it out how best to do that. So sorry to join late. No problem, Tosin. Emmanuel Ati Lolabi. Good day, sir. Thanks, sir, for the exposition on this. Can you put someone through what? GIS and R. What is RS? Can you open your mic and talk?
RS remote sensing.
Huh? Oh,
remote sensing.
Yeah. I do a few. I do a few of those kind of work. I do a lot. I mean, in fact, one of my projects I'm working on, a report that I need to submit now is I work on GIS. I use GIS Pro and ArcGIS, ArcGIS Pro, and right now, and also use R to generate my data. So I mean, why not? It's just um it's just a matter of time. For now, I'm a little packed with a lot of activities. I'm teaching a class of 200 students or more than 200 students. So that's a lot of work for me. So we just need to find the best time to see how we can start working on that using R. R is a very good tool for generating high impact, what's it called, data.
Okay, sir. So, what of as a beginner, how do someone start up with in the simply is the new place that someone wants to venture into? Then how can one, is there any website or link that one can be start learning?
Yeah, if you've been following the scholarship event website, page on WhatsApp, I've been posting a few things on data science and things like that there. So like the link for you to go to a website, there are tons of websites out there. So you can go to GitHub and just download some projects and start learning right away. Myself, how I learn, okay, ask me how I learn my Linux. My Linux operating system, I've used Linux operating system every time since 2010. How I got to learn about it was one of my friends who went out one day and he just mentioned something about Ubuntu. He said there's an operating system that look like this and this. I was fascinated. I said, what's the name? He said Ubuntu. By the time I got home that day, I Googled and by the time it was morning the following day, I already had the Ubuntu on my computer. You get what I'm saying? It's just drive. You need to have a drive. And YouTube videos may not necessarily be too bad, but sometimes it may not be good it is not good to just watch video. You need actual projects to start working on, to start, keeping yourself busy. You get what I'm saying? So one of the things that I do.
Okay, I'm with you, sir.
So one of the things that I do is this. Some time ago, I wanted to buy a watch like this, this watch, this cheap watch. I wanted to buy. I saw it for $30-something, and I needed to buy it. And I said, okay, so let me go through the reviews, and it was around 11,000 reviews. Okay, 11,000 reviews. That's a lot of reviews. I said, okay, let me just do it. Okay, how can I make this more useful? Okay, I decided to develop R code. Here, I developed this R code that time. Maybe I copied it somewhere, or I don't remember. That was many years ago. And then I said, okay, let me just go to pull out that information about that watch, and then let me see what I can see. And when I was able to do that, I developed what I call word cloud, and I see that they were all fake reviews. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of fake reviews too on Amazon. So I discovered they were all fake
Wow.
reviews. Just from me, just extracting 5,000 out of the 11,000 from reviews. I extracted 5,000. It took some time to run for me to generate. Within 20 minutes, I was able to get my result. But then I just did that. I went for another watch. That is one way you can already start going by learning something. So let me show you. Um, so I want to go to, I want to go to, I want to go to Amazon here. This iPhone 14, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this iPhone 14. I will want. This is some reviews on iPhone 14. Oh no, no, no. These are some reviews on iPhone 14. Where is it? Okay, these are some reviews on iPhone 14. Let me see. So these are some reviews. So if you want to already start, getting some insight from here, you can go ahead and just say, okay, let me open the one. Let me close this. Let me close this one here. And let me just copy and paste the link that I had earlier from the ones that I was working with. That was the review using as my this thing in those years. So if okay, this is it. This is it. This is just headphone tells me okay now if instead of the reviews I want to go back here to iPhone 14. So then I can come here to click here to click the URL and I go back to my R and I just say okay I need here I need another line here iPhone 14. You see that this and I paste this right in the middle. You get what I'm saying? So I want to get the iPhone iPhone 14. So and I want to get the reviews for this iPhone 14. So this is very practical. I just want you to just get it. See, don't be discouraged if you are not getting all the things we are talking about today. But at least it's just pointing you to something much more useful. That okay, you have a tool that you can already start just jumpstart and start learning something useful, right? So I want let me just comment all this one out. I'm not interested in all this one. So I'm interested in iPhone 14. I'm going to run the code for iPhone 14. This just shows me that I'm going to run the library that I need to process my data. And then when I run the code, and this is actually the code that pulls out the number, the reviews that I want. Okay. So what I'm saying here is I'm going to, the review, I want to make it null. So, and I want to write this, function that pulls only 50 reviews out of the number of reviews that I already have. You know why I post 50 reviews? Just to make, okay, let me just put 20 reviews so that it will be faster. Excuse me, it will be faster for us to do our analysis on. So I'm going to run this. I'm going to run this. Object headphone is not. So now, because this is a mistake because the object that I had at the instead of that, I'm going to copy and add iPhone 14 here. I'm going to go back to the beginning here and run it again. You see now it's processing now. It's going to take some time. This is R Studio. If you guys are seeing this for the first time, this is where you can also work with R. This is called R Studio. So now you just watch. Once it keeps it, so it's going to Amazon. It's going to download the 20. It's going to download only 20 reviews for me. And once it's done downloading, this one will stop, and then this you see something like this here, something like this forward arrow here, and then I can just run it and show you a glimpse of how the review looks like. And we can take a look at the reviews on the website and see whether we are getting the right thing. So once we are done doing that, so what I do again is just to okay, let me just I don't need all this. I don't need all this. So is to clean the data up and then I'll be able to visual. Now it's done. You see that? Now it has downloaded the reviews for us. So let's see the head of the review. Let's see the first 3 lines of the review. 3 lines of the review. You see that? I bought an excellent condition in an excellent condition iPhone this around this. So let's go to the website, to Amazon website and see if we can get some of those reviews. So if we can get some, you see that? Is it correct?
Yes. Wow.
You see that? I bought an excellent this around 6. Is that? So let's go back to our R. What did you see? Is that the same data set?
Yes.
So let's go to the next one. It was Christmas, right? On my computer. It was Christmas, and then let's see. What is it? You see how easy it is, right? You see that? So now the third one is going to give me the first 20. It's going to give me the first 20. So let me see. The next one is I had reservations about something. So let's go to my code. See, since I only gave the 3, it's only going to give me the first 3. Okay. So I had, you see, I had reservations. It's saying I had reservations too, right? Right? That's exactly the same thing. So how do I now process this data to be able to generate insights from this data? So I go through this process that I did before, and then I was able to remove all the things that I don't need. I don't even want to write it as a this. So now I go to TM, the package, where it's a package for natural language processing, where I'll be able to generate my word cloud, and then I have my text, I have my this, I clean it up. All these things you are seeing red are just warning, so because of the package. So let me go back here again. Start, okay, yeah. And then I want to remove any mention of URL. And then when I'm done, and I'm going to just, I'm going to come here and say pal. I want to, the color palette, I want to make it dark. And I want to visualize my, sorry, my distance here. So now, okay, I think it's already visualized. So it's already, so now you can see, where is it? Okay, it's here now. So you can see from just that data that I pull up, you can see the most common terms there. You see that? You see excellent, good, great, battery, new, things like that. Those are the most common terms. Okay? So now, if I need to dive deeper, I can do what we call sentiment analysis. What do the people who bought these items think? Because that is what is going to be useful to my company. If my company has a product and I'm receiving reviews from the company, and I want to be able to generate value for the company so that the customer can be better served. So I can run this library, and then I create a vector, which is for only the 20 reviews. And then for the vector, I can just create the different run what we call the different sentiment algorithm to be able to pull down my data out. And the next thing I do, I want to plot the sentiment. Okay. And then I want to add a line. Okay. The next thing is, okay, I ran through a few more distance. Go ahead and generate. Where I'm going is this. I'm going to do a bar plot of all the sentiments that how people think about the product. You will see whether they think positively or neutral or even negatively about the product. Remember, this is just 20 text data, 20 reviews. So sometimes if you are dealing with like 5,000 reviews, you may need more time to be able to allow it to process. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before I'm going to be ending very soon. So I think, so now it is completed. So I want to just see the head. So it has converted those things from just text to numbers. And then we can go ahead and see if we are able to get something. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see something?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is OnePlus reviews. I mean, the text, I can change the title, but this is what is showing that there's a lot of positive reviews for that iPhone 11. You see, iPhone 14, right?
Wow.
Based on the text. I mean, this is a live practice now. This is a live practice. I just downloaded it right in front of you. These are not data that I have installed somewhere. You get what I'm saying? So this is where you can already start, looking around and see, okay, how can I add value to my company if you already work for a company? And by doing something that will be useful to them, by generating something that would maybe drive sales or maybe make increase customer satisfaction and things like that. Does anyone have questions before I close on for the day? Jafar?
Yes.
Look like,
When
yeah.
you open the Jupyter lab,
Yes.
I think your own contains some R also.
No, because I already put them there.
Okay, because mine did not contain R. Okay.
Yeah. If yours doesn't contain R, you see what happens? So let's do something. Let's just do something. Let me copy all these things we've done here. Okay?
Okay.
From here. Let me copy them to the Jupyter lab. Okay? And then just open an R for the Jupyter lab. Okay? So now let's open one R for the Jupyter lab and just paste all these things that I copied. You see? And then you can change the Jupyter lab as you want. Okay? The text is a little too small, so you can maybe increase the font size. I'll have to think about how to do that right now, but I think I did that in my own case. But if you want to also change the theme, you can change it to dark. So to change it to a dark theme like this. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is a little easier now. All your codes are color coded. So I like it. So now if I want to do the same thing here in my app, so what I do, like I did before, I want to separate the different stages, right? So I want to go ahead and just instead of oh sorry, where's this new? Let me see, new folder. Let me see. This okay. Let me go back and backtrack. Okay, yeah. So I need to just open more. I need to just close open this, and then the next one is I just want to get the data. Okay, I want to get the data. I want to cut it out and put it in a different cell. You know why? Because you know if there's any issue, if there's any problem, you know exactly where the problem is coming from. You get what I'm saying? And you'll be able to address the problem without any problem. So let me just even minimize it from 20 to 10 so that it can run faster because we're already far ahead of time. So I'm going to run this. Now it's done. Okay, the code is done in Jupyter. You remember I'm copying the same R code that I used to do the other one here too. But this time I'm only interested in 10 reviews because I want it to run a little faster. So it's showing the star here, so it means it's running. So the different processing steps, I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to cut them out so that okay, for the other one, I'm going to cut it out too into a different cell. Now I have them in different cells. So you see, it's done, which is the same thing. I bought an iPhone for $600. You see that? Now we can do the same processing. The only thing, the difference here is that, okay, the processing that I did there, I run step by step, right? This one, you can just run everything at the same time and I already got my result, right? Then I can run also to get my what cloud. So now you see that? How easy is that?
Wow.
And then let's now draw our chart. Let's now draw our chart. Anybody, you want to ask a question? Somebody is talking, I guess.
Not really. I'm just uploading the work.
Okay, so now we are going to be drawing. Okay, let me just even remove all this other plots here. I don't want to spend too much energy this thing. So let me run the other one and just draw this thing in a different plot, in a different cell. So I'm going to run all these algorithms for me so that pulls out all the sentiments from my text. And then when it does that, yeah, I think it's done now. If I go here, it's still running, so it still has a star here. So it's still running. When it's finished running, it's going to stop and then just show numbers. This 4 is going to show number 5 here when it's done running. It's still running. Still running. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you, Emmanuel. Yeah, 3 Emmanuels here. This is an Emmanuel day. In fact, 4 Emmanuels. So it's an Emmanuel day, right? So thank you guys for still sticking around. Sukombi, thank you so much for taking up the task of being our co-host. And thank you, Esther, for being the first person to join the group, the meeting this today. Just keep.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now we've been able to do. So you see that I told you it's going to be 5. It's 5 now. It's 5, and then let's now create our chart. Now let's create our chart. So You see that? How easy is that? So you can do both in RStudio or maybe do it right here on the Jupyter Notebook. So the idea is this. The idea is to be able to combine both the superpower of Python as well as R in one location without having to juggle between two different platforms to generate your data. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I would go through
Yes,
that.
sir.
So yeah, maybe another time we could look at some specific projects and see how we can get started with those projects. I just don't know when that time is going to be, but just keep praying for me too that to be strong to be able to deal with all the stress around me. And it's a difficult thing to be able to, and it's something that I enjoy. So 5 Emmanuel, yeah, thank you. So it's a thing that I enjoy to share this kind of things. Tools, you don't really find this kind of things in text or even in websites or things like that. But over the course of my years as developing appreciation for data science, I've been able to learn a lot of things that I think I will be able to share with you, and that will help you a little learn it a little faster than you. Yeah. So thank you all for joining. Thank you, Gafar. The video will be available after some time. So Gafar, where did you join? Can you join this WhatsApp group?
Thank you. Okay. WhatsApp.
So I'm going to send you guys the WhatsApp. If you haven't joined the WhatsApp yet, I want you guys. If you're not on the WhatsApp yet, I want you guys to. So I want you guys to. This is the link. Just follow the link and join the WhatsApp group. I will add you. So the idea is to, I do a lot of things everywhere. But I really prefer Telegram. In the future, I want to move to Telegram. Telegram is very, very easy to use. It's not too difficult. WhatsApp is wonky. Sometimes the app doesn't work. Sometimes it's really very difficult. Most of the things that Telegram already has been doing on their producing, WhatsApp is just doing them now. So hopefully in the future we will move to Telegram. But you can join the WhatsApp group where I keep you up to date with all those information. So I don't only talk about information like this. I also talk about scholarship. I've been doing that for some years with my wife. I was very super encouraging about this, and over the course of those 3 years now, we've had more than close to about more than 15 students come to the US on fully funded scholarships. So, and that I do that to them for free. I don't collect a dime. Sometimes if I have the money, I have to even support them somehow. But now I don't do it anymore because I don't have the money. So, but anyway, I still do those kind of things for them for free. In fact, yesterday I received about 2 days ago, I received CVs and SOP for me to help them review. I'm also doing that too. I will do that immediately after this discussion. I'll take a look at it and see if I can do that and send it to the guys. So I do that for you for free too. I don't charge anything for. So it all depends on the time that I have. So if you send something to me and I'm not able to give you on time, you don't get mad at me, or send a reminder every time so that I can find time to help you do it. So yeah, enjoy. Thank you so much for joining, and I really do enjoy your presence here. And I look
Thank
forward
you so
to.
much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Elevix, is that is that a name or just
Yes, you're correct, sir.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining. Esther, thank you so much. Abisoye, thank you. Paul, yeah. Paul, thank you. Sukomi, thank you for answering for us. And
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
yeah,
sir. Thanks for having me.
Gafar, thank you.
Thank you.
Emmanuel,
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So if you join the group on WhatsApp, just don't hesitate to. If you are into anything, just even if I don't know it, maybe I may know somebody who knows something about it. You get what I'm saying? I can refer you to it, or I can. And there in the group too, I will not only be posting scholarships, I will also be posting like some of these GitHub pages where you can actually get started with data science projects that will be very, very that will be very impactful. You get what I'm saying? So I will be posting such information there as well. Okay. Bye bye. It's,
Hi.
it's around it's around 1 o'clock here in Florida. Okay, Gafar. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, have a nice weekend.
You too. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah.